That's bad.
All right, we got Jack in here today. We're making some changes. Hopefully, this is the change that gets this truck into the 9s. So far, it has ran a best of 1020 or 1030, one of them, in the quarter, and 660 in the 8th. This is a fairly heavy truck. It's about 3,900 pounds. And it is a completely stock bottom end 5.3. Haven't even opened up the ring gaps. Haven't done anything to it. It just has a cam, springs, TBSS intake, and twin turbos that you can see it there on the two-step. It is smoking pretty bad. We rebuilt this one when we first got it because that one was smoking bad. Now this one, we tried rebuilding, but things were just fitting really sloppy, like it was just really worn out. You can see on the pipe there, it was unhappy there too. So yeah, we're going to make the switch back to a single turbo along with an intercooler. As you can see right now, it's just hot air right into the intake. This thing, from about the 60 foot on, pegs the intake air temp sensor, which is robbing a lot of horsepower. This setup did make about 730 to the tire on a dyno the way it is. Well, actually with the old eBay turbos. We don't know what it made with the Turbonetics. But with the old eBay turbos, everything else the same. It made 730 at the tire at 21 pounds, I think, or 22, something like that. And that's when it went 10.3 at, I think, 133 miles an hour. But yeah, we're going to try to optimize this setup a little bit. So we're ditching the twins. We're going to put the single back on. Previously, when it was a single, it had the VS85, which I've had many people who are much more knowledgeable than me and have a lot more testing experience than me say that that's not VS's best turbo. They said it has a hard time spooling, and it's really optimal above like 6,000 RPM or whatever. Anything below that, and it's kind of a turd. We've got a few turbos to choose from. We have the VS88, which I think would be too much for this 5.3, and our converter and our combination and everything. We have the Force Performance 85 that I was going to put on the 55. That's not going to be done anytime soon. Jack could get much more use out of it. We also have a VS 78, 75 with a 124 housing. I think it would light off super quick in this thing. It would get up to boost really quick. Thinking about it. But first, I'm obviously going to let everything cool off because you can hear it crinkling and crackling. I'm not trying to put fingerprints on anything. And then we'll just be bolting that kit back on it. Might be able to just put the crossover on it. I might have the welds close enough to fit these headers. And then we're going to put an intercooler on this thing. We should have plenty of room, hopefully. Might have to cut a little bit down in there, a little bit over here to clear for things. But hopefully we should have enough room. Because the two main things that trying to change, smoky turbo and put an intercooler on it, because if it ain't cold air, it ain't going to make good power. So 300 degrees of smoky air ain't going to make things too happy. And then adjust the shocks a little bit. These are just the real basic 3-way adjustable Summits, I think. So right now they're on 9010s, coming up super fast. So I'm going to tighten those and get this front end slowed down a little bit. And then hopefully next time we take this thing out, we can get a new personal best. If we can get this thing to consistently run mid-9s, I'll be pretty happy with it. And then we can pretty much leave it alone, just have fun with it, and start knocking out all of our other projects. Alright, got everything pulled off the jack. I need to swap the wastegate from there onto the new crossover. Did have to change this pipe because the lip here is different. That way you can see it goes past the V-band flange a little bit. Did that to kind of try and help it seal up. Seems to have worked, but I don't know. So can start finagling that thing back in there. I think I'm gonna have to move the radiator back over a little bit. The cap was originally over here. That's why this cut's so extreme. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to move that back over. I still really want to get a log manifold for this and do like a more normal setup. Gets the weight up a little bit higher, moves the weight a little bit further back. I don't know. Just kind of thinking out loud here. But like I said, I'm gonna get that sat on there. See how everything lines up. Alright, got the crossover on. I did end up changing the driver's side pipe. I guess the flange is just a hair on a different angle between the two. Never noticed. But it makes sense. They're both cheap eBay up and forward headers, so kind of checks out that there'd be inconsistencies between them. But yeah, got that back on. Like I said, still need to change the wastegate. Now I can start setting the turbo in place and hope that it clears the radiator. If it doesn't, let's see, this side's not screwed in, this side is screwed in. So yeah, you can see, moved it over a few inches. Alright, got the turbo on. That was a fight. Jeez Louise. I'm gonna pull the grill off real quick. Alright, now I was thinking that if I had it angled down, there'd be enough room to do an elbow into an intercooler, elbow up to the intake. Looking like it might be tight. Well, I have played around with different ideas. Not so sure that this hot side kit is exactly intercooler friendly. I'm gonna do a little bit of thinking, and then we'll get back to the video. Alright, I've been messing with Jack for a little bit. Pause. And I think I've got a solution figured out. Unfortunately, it involves me making a whole new turbo kit for the truck, which I guess isn't the end of the world if I think it can make things better, which I'm pretty confident it can. So we'll keep the up and forwards. Got the intercooler where it's going to sit. Those are just for reference. Obviously, they're not going to be pointing straight up into the headlights. They'll be all cut holes there, and they'll go through. We got the turbo over in the corner. One thing that's nice about this is we got the fresh air hole. I don't know exactly how well that's going to work, but sounds good. Who knows? Might end up pulling this headlight out just to give more airflow. We will Loctite this to make sure that it can't fall apart and go into the turbo. But yeah, that's going straight down. Everything's looking pretty chill here. I'm going to get a single T6 into a single 3-inch flange, and then just a tight 90 or so into that. We're good. And then I can do a 90 out of here, going down on kind of an angle. We'll do like a V deal, just keep it out of the way. Back up into this. We'll have the wastegate over here. Probably about like this of an angle. Just that way it's getting decent flow from each bank. It'll be kind of similar to how that one was actually, and that one seemed to work pretty decent. And then just whip up a new dump pipe. So yeah, I just need to order a couple lengths of pipe, a few more pieces of aluminum for the charge pipes, and glue it all together.